Good morning, y'all. We're off to a glowing start this morning. I woke up late and then I just spilled my first cup of coffee all over the kitchen and had to remake another one. So that's why we're really late this morning. Oh, sweet, Adrian. Thank you. We'll take a look here in a minute. Let me just get a little organized here. I just had like the most chaotic past 5 minutes. One jab. Okay, so let's fix my screen quick. That's step one. I am using Nix now. I'm not using Nix for a lot yet, but I have Nix installed. I have Home Manager set up. I started working on yesterday getting some of my dev environment like Starship ported over. But we're not very far yet. This morning we're going to be rewriting a Vite plugin for Melange and trying to talk to Dune's RPC server. So we're going to be writing some JavaScript this morning. All right. Oh man, what a chaotic start. I got coffee all over myself. I got coffee all over the cabinets and the floor. It was chaos, chat. Alright, let's go. Oh yeah, I forgot to fix the screen. We gotta go up here. We gotta kill this thing. And then we'll come down here. There we go. Let's grab a Chrome browser. I'm peeking really bad. Oh, I see that. What? Why would that even change? Hold on, guys. Let me figure out what's going on with my mic. Chest. Man, that's like peaking instantly. Why? So now I have it. I just tried both, but I didn't change anything. I don't know why it's doing this. Why? ¿Por qué? Does it seem like it's better at all? No. Hold on, chat. I'm gonna quit out of OBS quick, and it's gonna kill stream, but I will be right back in like 30 seconds. Is it better at all? No, it's still like I'm peaked out completely. I mean, I guess I can just do this. Test, 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 test. How's that sounding? Is that a little bit better? That looks a little bit better on my end. Audio levels are better. Music's good. Test, test, test. Ron, are we sounding better? Test, 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 test. Is the music levels good too? All right. Sweet. Thank you for the follow, Tree. All right. We won't restart then. Cool. I wake up at between 6 and 6:30. This morning I overslept. But Debian. Is anyone on a Debian system that can try this? Oh, right. Right. I could Ubuntu Debian. Yeah, we could do it in Docker. I'll try that later. I want to work on some other stuff this morning first. So this morning, the main thing I want to work on, it's gonna be a little bit short of a stream. One, because I started late and spilled coffee on myself, and two, because I have a appointment at 10 that I'll have to leave at like 9:30ish for and get off Twitch at 9:20. So, in the interest of time, let's jump in. We are going to try to rewrite or refactor the Vite plugin for Melange. Right now, this plugin pulls against the build directory, well, specifically a log file that Dune writes, but instead we want to write a JavaScript client to connect to Dune's RPC server. That RPC server should send messages for files that change rather than pulling and parsing a log file output and trying to like throttle or debounce on the input. So that's what we're going to try to jump into. Also, probably going to start planning out a bunch of high-level issues for the mid-T rewrite. So Meta and I can get started and start divvying out work to people that want to help. But we're not going to do that on stream this morning, maybe tomorrow. I don't know, we'll see. So I'm definitely intending to have the rewrite of create Melange app be a really good project for people new to OCaml to jump into and contribute to open source. Maybe it'd be your first time contributing to open source. Maybe it's your first time learning OCaml. But yeah, I want to make it a really friendly project for people to contribute to. So I'm going to try to spend a lot of time scoping out issues and architecture and patterns so people can kind of jump in. But in the meantime, we are going to scaffold a new JavaScript app. So let's go up and we'll say make dir, let's say, if I do npm init, will it create a new repo? No, I think I have to do it init Dune RPC. In fact, we should probably do bun init RPC Dune RPC. Let's just be safe and do Dune RPC. And we'll jump into let's not worry about bun actually. Do we want to write in TypeScript? That's the question. Do we want to write in TypeScript? No, we're not going to write Melange. I just want to get a quick JavaScript package published and done, and then integrate that into the other plugin. Probably not, because Melange doesn't support OCaml packages that use the system library. Yo, what up, Archetype? Welcome to chat. Do you stream? If you stream, I need to shout you out. Yeah. Y'all, you should follow Archetype. He is a TypeScript guru. And tweets a bunch of awesome content on TypeScript. So let's go take a look at how this Dune RPC code works. For now, let's just do an npm init. Don't worry about that. Not worried about that. Nope. Set MIT. Sure. Okay, so let's touch an index dot let's just start with JS. All right, I want to go look at the code for how Dune RPC works. Is this the client library? Yeah, this is the client. So there's the client. We say client.make. Where's client come from? So there must be a client in here. Let's see here. Okay. Diagnostics, tune file. So how do we have this set up? So one way we could do this yeah, that should be it, Rond. Appreciate the compliment, Archetype. I just kind of wing it.
Functions describe the world.
Let's actually go back and make this bun, and then we can set up bundling at the end of this. Bun init. Okay, cool. That was easy. So let's move index to index.ts for now. So is this where's the client? Exported types. Lines of code, blah, blah, blah. Definitely have piqued my interest in OCaml. Sweet. Yeah, I would love, if you haven't worked with a Hindley-Milner type system, like, I would love your take on, like, OCaml's type system or Haskell's type system, or really any, like, kind of inference Hindley-Milner driven type system after having been so deep in the TypeScript world. I know for me, like, most of my career has been in TypeScript and JavaScript, and I've only found OCaml in the past year or so. And like once it clicked for me, which it clicked pretty quickly. It only took like maybe a week and a half of like spending a couple hours with it to like really be like, oh, type systems can be really cool and really easy to express things. It doesn't have to be as complicated as TypeScript. And I definitely love TypeScript, don't get me wrong, but like it is a distinct difference. I wish that they had better docs on this RPC stuff. So one way I could think about doing this is that we used the Dune RPC client library that they already have written here, which would be this guy. And then we could communicate via TCP to a node process that we start up in the Vite plugin. But that would mean we'd have to ship a binary with this package, which I don't love as much. I have no idea, Nunes. Do other package managers work on Debian by chance? Elm type system changed the game for me. The mini game of making all the puzzle pieces fill. Yeah, yeah. It's so hard to describe that feeling, Haas, of like once you feel and actually work with a different type system that isn't Java, C Sharp, Go, TypeScript. Like once you're out of that world of type systems and you use something like Elm or OCaml or Reason or Haskell, it's just like, and it doesn't have to be complicated, right? Like I know there's a bunch of tutorials out there and like talking about monads and semi-groups and monoids. Like you don't have to know any of that to be productive or understand the type systems. You could replicate the issue? Okay, thanks, Ron. All right, so how does this thing work? So we're saying initialize. All right, let's pull, maybe we clone the Dune repo. I feel like that's a rite of passage for a OCamler is cloning the Dune repo, right? So I've worked a lot on archetype, which includes a set theory-based version of TypeScript's type system that mirrors TS, but is much purer. One huge aspect of this problem I haven't worked on is static analysis, but I will admit the elegance of representing types as sets of constraints biases me very strongly towards something structural as opposed to nominal. Interesting. See, I started working on a library that I think I'm gonna call Mel.js, which is basically going to be an opinionated tiny wrapper around Melange's JavaScript runtime. I'll show this real quick. And I built like this little nominal type system around TypeScript using namespaces. Yeah, I wouldn't say. I think it's easier to get started with OCaml than Haskell. I'm biased, but I would definitely recommend. Have you seen my conference talk archetype? But I ended up building like this little library around the runtime using branding and namespaces to kind of emulate the type system a little bit of OCaml. And this ends up looking like, in practice, something like this. It's pretty cool. Like we get a file contents result type, we get it string, and then we can only ever operate on results using the namespace package. I thought it was pretty cool. Right, so let's download Dune now. So let's say git clone, and we'll do GitHub personal, throw that in. It's a chonky boy of a repo. Okay, let's go into Dune, and we'll open up Vim. How's the font size, chat? So we want to probably start in here, and we can toggle diagnostics until, let's open up a terminal. And let's see if we can do OCaml switch. Actually, you should probably see what version of OCaml we need for this. I'm assuming we can use well, I guess I envision as the ultimate type system is a sound structural type system similar to TypeScript with more advanced inference capabilities. Maybe impractical in practice to build, but treating constraints as sets is really so elegant. If I could snap my fingers, I want it. Sounds like you're on your way to writing your own language. All right, let's see if we can just create a switch and somehow get that project building. And while that's building, let's go back and start looking at this code here. Did I run this? Yeah. Actually, let's start by looking at that client, and we'll just follow the code on how they start bootstrapping this process. So we look at this examples client. They call Dune RPC v1, so that's the struct on the right, and then they call initialize. So there's going to be another module, probably under private, called initialize, or not. Where does that come from? I guess we could grep for it. I would have thought that we would have seen that. Maybe it's under this. Here it is. Initialize. Where the hell is it? Module initialize. Impulse server. Dune RPC private types. So there's one. There's the signature. That's an MLI, so this is it right here. Okay. So we call create, we get a structure back with the Dune version, the protocol version, and an ID. The ID is just gonna be does this do anything special? Dune RPC v1 ID. Is module ID in here? Yeah. Make S to S, so it looks like it just creates a S expression, atom. I'm gonna have to spend more time looking at the docs and playing with archetype. All right, so let's just read through this client code on the left. So we open up some sort of channel, which is going to be a promise, and we're going to be looking at the build directory. So I'm assuming when we connect to a channel, this RPC client is going to look in this where type for a directory, and inside the build directory, there's going to be a log file. So we get this channel, we call connect on the client, init. Where does init come from? That is our object that we were just looking at that has the version and an ID. We have this function, which must be ping prepare request. Okay, client request. Okay, it sets up some sort of poll. Okay, so these are the messages we can get back. That's nice that they're types. We get shutdown notifications. Okay, this should hopefully, knock on wood, not be the worst thing in the world to reverse engineer. So I think we want to go look at what our where object is. I have a good sense of our... actually, we might as well start writing some types here. Let's go previous, and we'll rename this to Dune. And this will be Dune RPC TS. And let's go back here. Okay, back here. Dune RPC. Could you fork the Dune RPC and remove the Unix dependency? It only occurs once. Oh, interesting. I hadn't considered that, actually. Well, we wouldn't need to fork Dune RPC. We would need to fork Dune RPC client, right? And that uses LWT, and I'm assuming LWT has a bunch of Unix dependencies in it. Oh, man. I pulled my freaking a muscle in my ribs and back so bad yesterday, chat. So let's go into index and go back. And we want to grab you, yoink. Paste these in, and we'll say really, what do you see? Me. Imagine. Okay, so we're built down here. Was that OCaml switch create? Yeah, so now we got to do OCaml install deps only. Yeah. You stop me. What would you try? Why is this song so quiet? So we call that, let's look at where. I think where has its own file. Yeah. Unix of string, IP of host. So when we call where.default, where's that at in here? Otherwise, we do this. File name. Where does file socket come from? .rpc dune. Okay, that's good to know. That's really good to know, actually. Unplugin. The docs suck, especially for explaining the internal type system, since most people don't need to leverage it directly to do things like compare validators to one another. It would be fun to hop on a call sometime and nerd out about type systems. I'm not a type system expert, but I would love to chat sometime. Yeah, maybe we can plan to have you on stream at some point here in the near future. That would be a ton of fun. I'll DM you on Twitter. So how does this work? Unified plugin system for build tools. Rollup and ES build. Ah, this will be useful. I do think we will use this. This is sick, Nix.
Functions describe the world.
This is sick. The thing is, though, the way the Vite plugin works right now is that it doesn't compile a single file at a time. It basically sets up a build command, and then it sets up a watch command. The watch command simply watches the log file and then reloads basically everything. It tells the HMR to reload, and it lets Dune do all the work of rebuilding the files. I mean, I guess we could do that still. We'll play with it once we get this RPC server done. But I do like this idea of like writing it once and then be able to use this for all the things. Because I would like to support ESBuild. I don't know what RSPack is. I've heard some people talking about it. But it would be nice to support all these things with what we're going to write here. That's really cool. Okay, let's jump back into this and keep reverse engineering here. So we have this RPC socket. So where was that make? Where was default again? Yes. Good. There's Webpack in Rust, and it's the fastest on here. Beats ES. Oh, it beats ESBuild. Damn. All right, so that seems to have worked. Can we do Dune build now? Nope. Okay. Is there an S expression library for Node? Or JavaScript, I should say. There's got to be, right? Okay, so it looks like we are going to have on Windows this IP that has a host and a string. So I'm assuming on Windows it's communicating via TCP, and on Unix we're just communicating over raw sockets potentially. I don't even know if that makes sense. I don't know enough about systems level programming, but we're going to figure this out. Let's see here. Compiler mismatch. What version of the compiler do I need? Recognize it. I don't know what version. All right, let's go. I mean, it's not super important. All right, so we know what where returns, right? Where is going to return us on Unix. We'll start with Unix. We're going to get back this variant that has a string, and default is going to have the build directory, that. So let's go document that over here. So where will equal build /.rpc/Dune. And then we create this channel. So in V1, which is under types, right? We want to look at connect chan. Not in here. Maybe. I'm looking in the wrong folder. Dune RPC. Or no, I'm not. Dune RPC LWT. Source. Yeah, we want to look in here. So we get this client. Connect chan. Here we go. Unix, PF Unix, Unix, adder Unix. I don't know what PF Unix is. We're gonna need to go look at that. So let's pull up docs for the Unix module. Unix module. I guess that's in the standard library, right? And we're going to be looking at, let's bump this back over, make this full screen. I don't know what, one thing I want to look at again quick is, what version of OCaml did this want? Man, I'm always curious how you divide your daily hours. I stream before work. I wake up at like 6 to 6:30 a.m. and then I stream from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. and then I work 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then on Tuesdays, I will occasionally stream with CM Griffing. OCaml install OCaml LSP server. Is Thunkable tool good? I don't know what Thunkable is. Ah, here we go. These are the two packages we want to build. Right, we need to go look at, where were you? In here, source, you, and we want to look at what PF Unix is. Do they wrap the Unix module? Surely not, right? So Dune RPC, do you have a Unix module in here? No. There it is. Socket domain. Okay. Okay, so that's what that is. We found PF Unix. And then our socket is going to be that combination, that where address. So it'll be underscore build slash .rpc slash dune. So we return that out, we get our domain and we get our socket address. We get a file descriptor, I'm assuming. Okay. Okay, let's start like mocking out some of this into TypeScript. Because I actually have no idea how TypeScript. So let's say we have a type client, and this is going to be read-only. Let's do that. I want to switch where my Copilot suggestions show up. We're going to have a Dune version. Dune version. At least string. At least for now. We're going to want to go look at what a Dune version is. Protocol version. And an ID. Let's keep these as strings for now, but they might be richer types than that. Like for example, this might be a S expression. Okay, let's make this full screen and let's go back over here and we want to grab this is brutal. Dune. Yeah, we're gonna go back to Gleam. I am waiting on a pull request. I ended up getting through that issue yesterday, chat, on Gleam. In fact, maybe this is it. No. So I have a pull request open to this Gap library, which the Exorcism test runner depends on. And once this is merged, we can finish updating the Exorcism test runner to Gleam 33, and then we'll start playing with Gleam a little bit more. I think Haley, who's one of the core contributors to Gleam, knows the author of this library, so if I don't get feedback in the next day or two, I might nudge her to see if I can get connected with this guy. But yeah, my initial take on Gleam is that before I would want to write it a lot, I would want the LSP server to be a lot better. Not having type annotations and type docs is pretty painful at the moment, so I would love to help contribute to Gleam's LSP server. But yeah, we're just waiting on this pull request to get merged, and then we're gonna keep playing with Gleam. But in the meantime, in the interest of being productive, we're working on this. So we should be able to say Dune build at, let's pull up that Dune project file again, because I really just want to build those two projects. Where's that Dune project file? Dune project / Dune project. There it is. Can we say Dune build at Dune RPC? Can I not target specific packages with Dune? Dune build. OCaml install Dune. Wow, that's laggy. Dune RPC .opam, I think. It's just completely frozen. Sat the command -- deps only. To /. Okay. How do I just build a single package in here? Dune build -s help. Packages. -p. Let's try that. Dune b -p Dune RPC. Okay. Library pp not found. Did this not install everything? Oh boy. Let's go look at our ID now. So we're gonna go up to here in Dune RPC, and we're gonna look in, not this one, private. I think we wanna look at types. And this has an ID. It's an S expression. Okay. So we know this is gonna be an S expression too. This is an S expression. We know this is an S expression. This is an S expression. And let's go look at the protocol version. The protocol version is a int tuple. Okay, so that's easy. This is actually going to be /int. So let's do that. Right, we're in JavaScript. So let's then go ahead and say type. Let's go find an S expression package. 10 years ago. Popularity. Quoting in comments. The port of Antler. Does this go both ways? Can I write to an S expression? Because that's the thing we really care about, I think. This was updated 3 days ago. This was updated 9 days ago, 9 months ago. This might be the one, but let's go check out all of these quick. We don't need anything fancy. Cicada lang. What is cicada lang? Do they export types? Oh, come on, GitHub. Yeah, GitHub's definitely having issues. I don't think it serializes. It looks like it just matches as far as I can tell right now. Or parses, excuse me.
Functions
Yeah, this one looks like a flop because it doesn't serialize. So let's see if this one does. Rescue me. Parse giving source string into an abstract syntax tree, then recursively executes all resulting. I really just want like a JSON to S expression. I like the documentation of this so far. Parse. Please give me a serialize. Serialize to do. Please no. Please be implemented. Index. Constructor. Find context. Interpret. Serialize. This is format.push this dot serialize. It looks like it's written, it's just not documented. All right, we're gonna go with this one, I think. Give this guy a star, doing the Lord's work. The other thing we could do is we could find a OCaml library. We could find an OCaml library and we could compile it to JavaScript using Melange. And we could just do that. Copy paste it over. Honestly, we should do that and just publish our own S expression library to NPM. Maybe we do that. Is that the worst idea? That's not the worst idea, right? Like we could find a really solid OCaml S expression library that has no system dependencies, compile it to JavaScript, and then publish that as like the de facto standard JavaScript S expression library. How did I know this was going to go into way more rabbit holes than I expected? All right, so oh, funny song that just came on, ADHD. Oh no, this is ISIS off the ADHD album. All right, so they use, what are they using for their S expressions in here? CS. Oh wait, so we installed, can we do Dune build now? Where the frack are these dependencies coming from?
Functions describe the world.
Yeah, I actually agree with Archetype. I think as a whole, the acquisition of GitHub went relatively smoothly. I interviewed at GitHub right after the acquisition, and I had some friends working there, and the team I was interviewing for was pretty solid and like was pretty isolated from any of the big changes. I know there was a bunch of internal drama at GitHub, but I think from the outside perspective, it's gone pretty smoothly, all things considered. Also, like the interview process for GitHub and Microsoft is pretty top notch. I mean, it's very long. I had 6 or 7 rounds of interviews, but none of them were like bad. Like my coding interview was implementing, um, I forget what like the actual app was. It was what was it? It was building a theme toggle to go between light and dark themes, and maybe like a type ahead component or something that had to be accessible. I can't remember. So what is CS expression? So I see these conversions and this library. I don't know where some of these come from. Have you learned nothing from the ink debacle? Listen, we're not writing OCaml. We're writing JavaScript, but we're going to use really polished OCaml libraries to generate even more polished JavaScript libraries. This is the way. We're going the opposite direction, Badger. So let's go back to OCaml.org. And we want to look for, I guess, CS expression. Is that the library? Yeah, let's open up the docs for that. And then, is that a library? No. Conv, is that a library? That's probably this guy, I bet. All right, this package provides libraries documentation. Yeah, just give me the docs. It's the most recent. Let's go to 1.5.2. We have a parser. Can this serialize though? I can't wait to get an explorer on the left side for symbols. Yep, I totally agree with archetype. Microsoft, as much as I like to bash on Microsoft and TypeScript and like all the things, I wholeheartedly agree that Microsoft in the past decade to 15 years has really, really like stepped up to the plate and taking open source seriously and actually, in my opinion, being good stewards of open source. Like I think the TypeScript team is one of, if not the most remarkable and top tier team in open source, like without a doubt. Halesberg is just like, he's such a kind dude. And like, if you go and look, he's the architect of TypeScript at Microsoft. And if you go look at his interactions on the TypeScript repo and just the way he communicates with people and his style of documentation writing, like he's a stellar architect and team lead, and he definitely the right guy for TypeScript. Like his vision from the very beginning, even if I wish TypeScript was not strictly a superset of JavaScript, like he's truly nailed it. Like I put him up there with like one of the top engineers like of our day. And there's also a lot more people involved with TypeScript that deserve praise, but yeah, he's incredible. His talk at the International Conference of Functional Programming was really, really good. Archetype, I don't know if you caught his talk at ICFP, but he talked about TypeScript's type system and why it had to be gradual and where it fell short and how it was never meant to be sound. It was really good. It was funny hearing him because like he kind of like bashed on his own type system, right? Like it's very clear that like, he is a fan of other type systems despite being the architect for TypeScripts. I don't know. It was a really cool talk to watch. I wish I would have had a chance to talk to him in person. All right. Can this serialize? 2-string, perfect. What dependencies does this guy have? Used by dependencies, OCaml and Dune. Let's go. Let's see if we can compile this to JavaScript. So let's make a new project. There's some very impressive aspects of what the TS team does, but I will say their communication and feedback on community. Oh, really? I actually haven't seen the community part, but I've been pretty deep in their issues where the team is communicating, and I guess I haven't seen firsthand, like, I don't know who's the team and who's the community, so I don't have enough context on that communication, but I will definitely take your word for it. Let's see here. I actually reference his talk in my talk archetype. So let's go up and we're going to say make dir, and we'll say, what was this library called? sexp. Make dir sexp JS. And we're going to say, let's make a subdirectory called melange. And we'll just use this library to get the JS. And here we can say Dune init project. Dune init project. Well, actually, we can just use create melange app. Run create melange app at latest. And we'll just do dot. Look at this, chat. We actually get to use our frickin' tool. You've probably seen Matsu's on Twitter. He has about 100 open PRs. All of his work is very high quality. They just don't put enough precedence on prioritizing his feedback and making decisions. If they're going to reject a feature, everyone would be better off if they were decisive. Ah, that's good context to know. Let's go to x.com. His handle is Anderist Rake. Anderist Rake. Oh, yeah, I follow him. I see him on the issues all the time. This guy's great. Oh, he built Redux Saga? Hell yeah. I know people hate Redux Saga and aren't a fan of Redux. My first conference talk was on using Redux as a pub subsystem and basically viewing, changing your mental model on Redux rather from like state setters to an event system. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this guy. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. I actually had the assumption that he was on the TypeScript team. All right, let's grab OCaml. This will not be a React app. I don't really care. We'll say Vite. No. Do we need to run npm install? Sure, it doesn't matter. And we do need to display that. Clear the directory. All right, we'll let that run for a minute. And let's go look at this S-expression library, see if we can get to a GitHub. Built by Jane Street, of course. Hopefully we are able to convert this to, hey, we have a monad. Why is that not working? There, archetype. You shouldn't have to worry about ads anymore. I appreciate you and the work you do. Okay. Yeah, man, don't worry about it. I got you. I appreciate the work you do for the ecosystem. I appreciate you hanging out. I appreciate your conversation. Yeah. Do not worry about subbing. All right, we built yet? OCaml takes so long to go. It's actually a nice little library, just like one little file. Where was that? In here, right here. Like, I like how succinct this is. They wrote this little parser. One thing I wish that TypeScript had was proper variants. It'd be cool to get syntax around tagged or discriminated unions that enabled like typical variant types. I think that'd be really cool. Let's go to Melange's GitHub quick. I'm hoping we can compile this library. Let's see here. I just want to go to Melange. And here. And we want to go into here, I think. Or standard lib. I hope this is implemented. Yeah, we are. Okay, we should be okay. I'm giving a talk on discriminated unions at Effect Days coming up. Given your functional program or FP background, what are your thoughts on that ecosystem? I haven't been able to play a lot with Effect TS. I think it's very cool. The main guy, I don't know what the main guy's name is off the top of my head, but I've had some less than stellar interactions with the main guy. One of the other people from the project I've DM'd with a bit about going on their podcast. But I get the gist that the main guy doesn't, I think his name might be Michael or something. I don't think he likes me very much. But I still think Effect TS is very, very cool. And I do want to play with it. Yeah, I think this is this guy right here. Yeah. I've had some less than stellar interactions with him on Twitter, which is unfortunate because I think his work is super, super high quality. And I think this project is super cool. But, you know, an author is not the project. And I think this is super cool. I would encourage everyone to check this out. No, he is not the Burger King guy. Yeah, I kind of figured that was the case archetype, and I've been trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. And despite those interactions, like communicate in good faith. And like I said, it hasn't been bad. It's just like enough to be like, come on, man. Like, I'm not being a dick. You don't need to be a dick. Let's just be friendly. We're both working towards the same thing here. Yeah, regardless, I mean, I would love to chat with him in person sometime too. Like, I'm sure this is probably just like you're saying, like text communication medium. Like, I think sometimes he might perceive the things I'm saying as just being completely dismissive of TypeScript, despite my love for TypeScript. And really, like, the content I try to put out is educating people on other type systems. And I think sometimes that can be perceived without context. And this is also partially my fault. And something I'm trying to do better at is that I'm bashing on TypeScript rather than trying to educate on a new type system. So all stuff I'm working on. Hey, Leo. Yeah, dude, I'm actually eager to watch that talk. That sounds like a really, really sweet talk. What is, I guess, so you're talking about discriminated unions. Like, what is the rest of the premise of the talk? Hey, Leo. Let's see if this finished here. Oh my God, OCaml. So Leo, we're going to compile this C expression library to JavaScript, and then we're going to publish that library to NPM. And that way we'll have a really solid S expression library in JavaScript. Then we're going to use that S expression library to write our Dune RPC client in TypeScript. At least that's the goal. This is the rabbit hole I found myself going down this morning while I wait for my PR that I opened yesterday on that Dune or that Gleam library to get merged. And then we'll eventually, I've got like 3 projects in flight, but I'm going to also start planning out the Mint T rewrite and writing issues and like getting the repo set up and started, which I might need some of your help with. Me and Meta will probably work on that. I want to try to make the Mint T rewrite of Create Melange app like the best place for people to get started in OCaml that haven't contributed before. And also, I'd love to try to get people who haven't contributed to open source before involved in it. So those are like kind of 2 goals I have in tandem at the rewrite. Oh, it is. It just takes forever. Actually, it has been a while, hasn't it? I'm just going to let this keep going for now. Can we use Nix? I'll send you a flake. Yeah, potentially. I should learn how to use Nix more. Yeah, co-streaming would be fun, Leo. We should... Yeah, let's actually plan to do a co-stream to like get the foundations of that set up. I'll DM you later today about arranging that. Yeah, that'd be really fun, and that would help me too, because I've got like a million things in flight here. Okay, we failed. It did fail. That's interesting. I wonder why that failed. So let's try doing, I shouldn't need to do an eval, but we will. Eval, let's follow my own error message here and see how this works out. That looks good. OCaml install dot dash dash steps only. Oh, right. I have to go read what archetype's talking on. It's called Discriminated Unions From principle to practice in TypeScript, effect, and archetype. I'll basically talk about the pure theory behind what it means to discriminate a union in a set-based constraint type system, how TypeScript leverages this and doesn't, as well as effect and archetype. Archetype is pretty unique in this regard that it determines the optimal discriminant or discriminants in sequence for all unions implicitly and uses it to optimize validation without having to specify it. That sounds awesome. I'm very excited for this talk. Y'all, if you don't follow Archetype, you 100% should. Go give him a follow. This is going to be super cool. Didn't Theo just do a video on Archetype? I think I have it queued up in my to watch. Are set-based type systems, is that what Elixir's implementing? I actually don't know enough about type systems to know what a set-based type system means. Yep. Interesting. Man, I wish I had, like, when I retire, I would love to, like, hit it big at a startup sometime and retire, like, in my 40s. And even if I didn't, like, when I retire, I would love to go back for a master's degree at, like, a research university and do, like, a programming language theory CS degree for my master's. I think that would be so fun. Like, if I had all the free time in the world, I would do a master's at a research university on programming languages. I'll have to go watch. Do you have a link to that video, Badger? Package conflict. How do we have a package conflict? That seems weird, right? Did Melange just release another version? Do I ever have to deal with cloud integration shit? I try not to the best of my ability. I do not enjoy DevOps infrastructure stuff at all. I can get by. I know a little bit of Terraform. I know the basics of using Terraform with AWS. Like, I'm going to try to use Vercel or something similar, like on just personal projects, but like at work, I'm, used to using Terraform. Did Melange, I wonder if Melange just published and that's how I grabbed a new version. I don't know much about Elixir, but essentially what I mean is treating types as intersections/unions of constraints. So each constraint types, things like type of, instance of, divisibility ranges, projects can be treated mathematically and reduced when combined with other types. That sounds awesome. I need to do some reading. Yeah, I'm trying to get there. I have too many tabs open. Melange. Ah, they published 2.2. That must have just happened. Or maybe not. It was published on December 6th. What version do I... Well, now I'm confused. What do I say in Dune project? Melange greater than 2.1.0. Makes a lot of sense. Whoops, I didn't need that. We want to do that, minimize that a little bit. I'm pretty sure Archetype knows what he's doing. Lightspeed. Okay, this is merged on the 6th, so 2.2 has been out for a while. So what is going wrong here? I have not seen this happen. OCaml list. What's in my switch? Didn't even install. What happens if I just dune build install? OCaml install. I have another project named Melange. That's the problem. Watch this. I'm going to have multiple switches called Melange. Looks like Melange 2.2.0 depends on itself. It has a separate package. I think I just have to go remove my other switch that's called Melange. Maybe. Or we can just say this is going to be equal to 2.1, and we can say, try this, dune build, not bun, dune build at install, and then we can do an OCaml install depths only. Missing dependency. Why can't I grab that version? So equal? Probably not equal. Or is there no equal at all? Is it just like that? What in the world? Why? Can I just do OCaml install Melange? Let's actually try to grab the latest. I just need to like quickly compile this library. I don't need to do anything special with this Melange app. In fact, I could probably just do this the super simple way. We have all the code. I don't know why I didn't think about doing this before. Where is this library? Where is S expression? We can just take this and dump it into Melange Playground. Right? That seems like the easiest way to do this. And it's going to depend on the Melange runtime, which is fine because I already have that. So if we go to, this is going to be awesome. Let's just say, all right, I know how I'm doing this now. So we'll say C S expression xp.js. Yes. Paste that in. And we'll go and we can grab the Melange runtime stuff from this folder. Let's see, copy vendor to / CS expression, and we'll put it in vendor. Whoops. And then we come back over here. We should have a vendor lib now. And we have all the Melange runtime. How did I do that in the FFI library? We did, that's not the right one. We went up. Okay. Let's just take that as an example. We could eventually probably rewrite this using the little mel.js thing I'm gonna write. So this is gonna be, we can write a macro for this, right? In fact, we could probably just do %s, this be Melange, and we'll change that to ./vendor, whoops, we need the parentheses, ./vendor /Melange. And what do we, oh, we need to escape these. Escape that. Escape that. Does that look right? That does look right. All right, that looks good there. So then theoretically, let's make this a MJS for now. And we'll say test dot, I don't know, we'll just leave it as test S expression. In fact, we don't even need to do that. We could do a string, right? And we can publish like nice TypeScript types for this eventually. So we can remove, we can go up a directory. Hi Priv. We can remove the Melange directory now from here. We can do an npm init.
Functions describe the world.
What up, Togglebit? Oh, I got raided by Togglebit. Did I miss a raid? Oh, snap. Thank you, Togglebit, for the raid. Raiders, welcome. We are working on writing a couple of things here. We're down a couple rabbit holes, but our primary objective for the next couple days is going to be writing a series of plugins for Vite, Webpack, RSPack, ESBuild that can essentially compile Melange code. And what Melange is a compiler that compiles OCaml and ReasonML to JavaScript. So we're basically making it really, really easy to introduce TypeScript and JavaScript developers to the OCaml and JavaScript ecosystem with a variety of tools. I most recently built a tool called Create Melange App, which looks something like this. If you run npm create Melange app latest, this is going to walk you through a wizard, and it's going to scaffold out this whole project. You can choose whether you prefer ReasonML or OCaml. ReasonML is just an alternative syntax that looks closer to JavaScript for OCaml, but still has the same amazing type system. Yeah, so we're just building a bunch of tooling around that to make that experience better. Let me shout out ToggleBit quick. And right now, the thing we're specifically working on is writing a RPC client to speak to Dune. Dune is OCaml and ReasonML's build tool. And we're basically going to use the socket that this opens up. Our build plugins for Vite, ESBuild, all these things are going to talk over sockets to this RPC server to figure out when files change. So when OCaml source files change, and then we compile them with Melange. Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, archetype. So ReasonML is literally just an alternative syntax for OCaml. It has JSX built in. ReasonML is actually made by Jordan Walk, who made React originally. You can interrupt. In fact, let me show you this. If we go to Create Melange App, you can mix and match ReasonML and OCaml files in the same exact project. So right here is a ReasonML project or file, and I import OCaml files right into it. It all compiles to the same native code, bytecode, or JavaScript. The Dune is going to be watching the files. Yep, exactly, Reaper. So Dune will be in watch mode, and that will have the RPC server spun up. Then from TypeScript, we're going to connect to that RPC server from Vite. And as we get files in from the RPC server, we're going to have Vite kick off its hot module reload. So yeah. Let's rename this. This is going to be CS expression -js. And we have this. I've seen you post on Twitter. What a coincidence! I'm rating your stream. Well, welcome to stream. I appreciate you hanging out. Yeah. All right. So let's get a package JSON built for this. So let's do npm init. And that looks, let's actually name that JS. CS expression.js. I should check if there's licensing stuff I need to copy. 0.0.1. Let's go check the license of CS expression quick. I have so many tabs open, chat. License is MIT. Okay, cool. So we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, we will also report errors through Vite. We're eventually going to try to make some gen type tooling. I have some ideas I want to explore around Melange binding specifically, and some tooling that I think could make it better, but it kind of deviates from the recommended way of doing FFI right now. So we're going to play with that the next couple weeks as well. All right, so let's do a git init. Do we have, where do I have git ignore? Get ignore IO. Was it ignore IO? Get ignore IO? What is that website? Yeah. Node. Actually, node Java. Can I do commas? Node's probably fine, right? I also need to make a rip grep ignore. So let's do, what the hell is that? What's happening, NeoVim? All right, just get at it. That was the, oh, it's because the directory doesn't exist anymore. That's why I got real confused. Okay, so we want to make a dot get ignore and a dot rip grep ignore. Save both of those. And I want to show, I need to configure oil to show my hidden files by default. Let's dump that in there. And then here, do the same thing. Okay. And let's say, let's go make a repo for this. New repository, CSP.js, public, create repository. Copy that. We'll do git commit -m, our classic Batman, as our initial commit because it has no parents. Oh, come on. What is this? I gotta say this is personal. Git remote set URL origin in. This will be csexpression.js. I love that emote. csexpression.js. So let's try that again. Git push -u origin main. Okay. And let's go to our package JSON again and fill some of this stuff out. We can go into create melange app to grab some of that. We grab this stuff here. And we can paste that over. So we went from repository author license. We can go boom. Bump that up to like here. Add a comma. This is going to be csexpression JS. We don't have any scripts yet. We're going to say type will be module. And exports will just be, I don't know if I even need this. Change around that, that'll be /index.mjs. We'll write a TypeScript, a .dts for this potentially. Actually, gentypes might be, Spike Spaz asked, why is this project valuable to you? Do you want to write OCaml for front end? Yes, that's precisely it. So I've been building a lot of tooling and content around a compiler and toolchain called Melange. And Melange compiles JavaScript, or excuse me, compiles OCaml and ReasonML to really, really performant modular JavaScript. So you get the benefit of OCaml's type system, which is way more type safe and sound than TypeScript, with all the benefits of using the JavaScript ecosystem. So I'm working to make the experience of using Melange better. And at the same time, I'm trying to educate as many TypeScript devs as I can about other type systems, and also trying to get people involved in open source. So all these projects I want to try to make as friendly as possible to contribute to and get people involved. So let's go ahead and publish this. Where am I at here? The hell? Git status, git add, git commit, update, package JSON, git push, and then we can say npm publish. Hopefully I am the only one with this. Let's go! We got csexpression.js. It's officially on npm. So let's see if we can actually test this. I'm soon gonna have to leave chat. I have a haircut here that I gotta drive down to downtown Raleigh. Just leaked my calendar. If you guys were savvy, you could see where I interviewed yesterday. If you go back and look at this later. Little spoiler alert. Which, I think my interview went well yesterday. For those of you that don't know, that follow me, I am unfortunately in the job market. I will be at Scholem until, at the latest, March 31st. We unfortunately are closing down shop. So I'm looking for a new job, and I'm very fortunate to have built a very, very good network of former colleagues and friends. And I've started interviewing at 2 companies so far. And one of my technical interviews was yesterday, and I think it went pretty well. I didn't arrive at the ideal solution, but as far as like runtime performance goes, I think, as far as I can tell, I matched the performance of the ideal solution, and it went really well otherwise. And then I ended up implementing the right solution and sent them it afterwards. So hopefully I get moved on to the next round with that company. So we'll see. I'm so much looking forward to seeing your OnlyFans pictures. I would be a great OnlyFans person. Just kidding. No, I wouldn't. I would be terrible. Okay, so let's see if we can parse something here. So let's open this up and let's get a little test file over here. So let's say test.mjs, and we'll save that. And we'll go in here and let's make a little string. Say const sexpression is, let's just do name, and this will be foobar. And then let's import star as csexpression from, yep. And now we have a make over here. What does this export? We have make. We're probably going to need to look at the OCaml docs to see how to use this. So let's bump those up again. Actually, let me see how far I have to drive for this, because I'd probably have to leave like in the next 5 minutes. Let's not dox my address. That would not be the best thing.
Functions describe the world.
$18-minute drive. Okay, so I have about 10 more minutes before I have to wrap up. What up, Pyro? Hindley Milfner? Oh my god. That is hilarious. I'm gonna clip that and tweet that. And I will be sure to tag you, Archetype, with all the credit. That is fantastic. Or I don't have to tag you if you don't want to be tagged. I can blur out the handle too, but I think that's hilarious. Come on, Copilot. Tag, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll make sure to do that. Okay, so this gets make. Let's go look at the docs really quick of CS expression again. So here's the MLI. So it takes a CS expression. An X expression is a T, which is an atom of string, or a list. Okay, so we have to construct this atom object. So let's see if we have that in our... let's just go ahead and do a vertical split so we can have both of these open. And we'll go to our actual stuff. Is there an atom in here? There is. Okay, so we should be able to make an atom. All of the runtime for add atom. It's for everybody. I'm insane. Blow out my brain. You can close all these. Maybe I'll add this to my little library. So let's go back to Melange Playground, and we're gonna copy this back in. So we get source. Let's grab this. So let's copy the raw again and go back to Melange Playground. Okay, so we still have all this. So let's just scroll down to the bottom and let's try to just do a dummy example, right? So what is their example in the repo? That's my repo. Let's go back. Their example is, oh wait, that was actually what I was looking for. Forward. Atom of string. I need to figure out how to construct this from JavaScript. Dang it. So let's hop up to here. They say to string. I want of string, right? Parse string. We get it. So we might... We might need to add a constructor to this. Maybe I'll fork this. Yeah, so let's go to here and we'll just write some of this code ourselves here. Well, let's see what the actual JavaScript comes out as. So let's say we have like this main function. So let's say this equals, we'll have let atom equals s atom. Is that a thing? In we can just return that. xp.atom. Is this inside a module? .t. Parse string. Oh, we can just parse string. Right. Or this is a type. How do I just get a, don't care about those, parser, blah, blah, blah. Don't care about parse string. Is that part of the exposed interface? Let me make this bigger for you, chat. Hey, Leo, if you want to get set up for streaming, I can raid you. Yeah, if you want to get set up, I can raid you. So we make a parser. I don't know if we need to make a parser. T is that, make T.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
According to the calendar, it'll take you about
20 minutes.
Yeah.
I just checked.
perfect.
I'm on top of it, don't worry.
Okay, great. You're also gonna have to find parking. She's very excited to see you and is not going to let you buzz your hair. I was talking to her this morning.
Gotcha. SXP Adam. Oh, okay, so we just do that. That's simple enough. So let's say let module C S expression equals make SXP. I see what we're doing here. Module type. Oh, that's an interface. Which it just needs a atom of string. Ah, so you come down here and you're like, you parse this into a S expression. So it would be like module struct, module whatever, test equals struct. I guess we don't even need that. It can just be anonymous. Struct end, and it needs a sig. Is that all it needs? This seems weird. I don't think I'm using this right. Well, if anyone else wants to stream, I'm happy to raid y'all. I'm obviously not understanding how to use this library.
Functions describe the world.
And then we can copy this. This should actually just be make. Okay, so we have that now. So now this thing should be able to do, oh yeah, we have our code right here. So let's just say we then like js.log atom. And that should print us out here. So tag 0 is atom. Raid Bad Cop, she's streaming? Okay, yeah, we'll raid Bad Cop here in like 5 minutes. I need to figure out a good way to handle variants from our like little mel.js library. So let's just go write a helper function. We probably want to export this too. Like, is this anywhere? Module C expression. Let's call this B expression. That is the actual module that gets generated right there. Okay. So we want to export this. This will be our default export. So we want to take this and we want to go, if I comment this, what code gets deleted? Whoops, That's not a... Parse string. So we do have parse string as like an export from here. So it seems like we should be able to just do parse string, right? Like parse string, and then we should get like, we should have a string where it's like name and foobar. So we should be able to parse that. However, we get an invalid character because that's a result, right? So we can say, let's do at, and we'll do result, was it .get? Or result.ok, get okay? I never remember this API. OCaml result. Get okay, and it'll raise an error, that's fine. Invalid argument. Okay. And what are their tests in the repo? What is that 3? What are these numbers? I actually don't understand. What's happening here? Data after canonical spec. Okay, so this should be a string that parses correctly. So let's see if this actually works. If we throw this in here, get rid of that, get rid of that. Okay, so that parsed correctly. Is the Dune language not a valid... Well, this is the library it's using anyways, right? We already validated that it's using CS expression in Dune RPC client. If we go up to here, we go to source in here, they're creating... Where was it? Examples. Hello? Nope. Run? Nope. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. So if we look here and then we go look at other libs, we validated that they're S expression T's, which is, this is under types. What is a CONV X expression? So that's S expression T, and that comes from, let's check out import. I'm pretty sure this comes from the same library we're working with right now. So it looks like their serialization format is just S expressions. That's like the serialization format across the RPC protocol is what I'm guessing on reading this at first glance. So where did that imports thing come from? Not here. Where did imports come from? re-export Dune RPC client, private Dune file, libraries, Dune, CS expression. Whatever. Well, we see that's coming from CS expression, so that's okay. So let's go back to private and types. All right, chat, we're going to pick this back up tomorrow and keep rocking on this. And we're going to see if our Gleam stuff gets published. But in the meantime, let's go raid Bad Cop. Looks like Bad Cop's not streaming anymore. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, Archetype. I super appreciate it. Oh, Ninja's streaming. We're going to go raid Ninja. Ninja is probably working on Zig stuff, so go show Ninja some love, y'all, and we'll be back tomorrow morning. And I'll probably be streaming tonight with CM Griffin, working on Vexilla stuff. So we will be back, y'all. Thank you so much for all the new follows. I know I wasn't great at following and shouting out everyone for the follows, but I appreciate all of you. None of this would be possible without y'all. Y'all are the best.